It is 11 p.m. You are exhausted. You know you should sleep, but you are scrolling. A Reddit user recently described this state perfectly. They found themselves doom scrolling as a way to just turn my brain off. It is a specific kind of modern paralysis, the urge to drown out overthinking with a flood of information. We live in an era where our devices are both our lifeline and our primary source of anxiety. We are dealing with what researchers are calling socio-digital stress, ranging from hostility and cyberbullying to the smothering pressure of constant communication. And while mindfulness has become a trillion-dollar buzzword, applying it to our digital lives is surprisingly complex. Today, we are going to look at the mechanics of digital stress, the specific psychological tools mindfulness offers to break the cycle of avoidance, and the strange paradox of using apps to cure the anxiety those very apps help create. My name is Julia, and here are my thoughts. Let's go back to that Reddit thread. The user noted that despite having hobbies and a mentally engaging job, they waste entire afternoons, hours upon hours, just scrolling mindlessly. Why do we do this? Well, psychologically, this is known as avoidance coping. When we face daily stressors, whether it's a difficult email, a sense of loneliness, or just general anxiety, we often respond by trying to suppress the thought or to distract ourselves. In short term, this works. It feels adaptive. But researchers note that when we use repeatedly, avoidance strategies undermine our well-being and behavioral effectiveness. Behavioral effect. That's a weird word. Behavioral effectiveness. Digital stress isn't just one thing. A study on adolescents identified two distinctive types. Type 1 is hostility-oriented, things like public shaming or mean attacks. Type 2 is about navigating closeness, feeling smothered by constant texting or the pressure to grant access to your private accounts. Whether it's hostility or smothering, the result is often the same. We retreat, we ignore. In fact, ignoring a situation is one of the most common coping mechanisms recommended by peers online. But here's the problem. Evidence suggests that while ignoring is a popular strategy, it is often not an effective for one's mental well-being. So, if avoidance is a trap, what is the antidote? This is where we have to be very precise about what mindfulness actually is, because it is often misunderstood as just relaxing. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR, developed by John Kabat-Zinn in the late 1970s, defines mindfulness as a moment-to-moment, non-judgmental awareness. It involves the continuous monitoring of experience rather than a preoccupation with the past or future. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Research and Personality provides a fascinating insight into why this works. The researchers found that a present moment awareness predicts value-consistent responding. This means act like your goals, not your impulses. When you are psychologically present, you are less reactive to negative emotions. You create a gap between the trigger, which is the stressful text, and your response. This allows you to respond in a way that aligns with your long-term goals rather than just reacting to the immediate environment. Do not confuse this with ghosting, because ghosting is once again just ignoring and not going into the confrontation. This means taking in the text, reading it, sitting down for a second to think about how you should handle this, maybe even let 1 or 2 hours pass and then respond to the text. The study found that higher levels of present moment awareness were associated with coping self-efficiency, the belief that you are actually competent enough to handle the stressor. Crucially, this benefit holds true regardless of how much negative emotion you are feeling that day. If you can feel bad, but you are mindful, you can still act efficiently. But here is where we run into a modern problem. If technology is the stressor, can technology also be the cure? Well, we are seeing a boom in mHealth or mobile health apps, tools designed to manage stress, anxiety, and mood. I looked at a study involving an app called Stress Freeze, which uses behavioral exercises like calm breathing and self-hypnosis. The study revealed a fascinating friction. Participants reported that they didn't relate technology with being stress-free. Of course, one participant even noted, "When I think about not being stressed, I think about not being near a computer or a phone." And I mean, there is like a physical awkwardness to it, right? You are trying to do like a deep muscle relaxation, but you still like have to hold up the phone to read the instructions on what to do next. This device itself, the constantly at-risk object that demands we monitor it for notifications, becomes the vessel for our relaxation. However, there is a silver lining. Some users found that these apps allowed them to externalize their stress. One participant found that seeing their anxiety plotted on a graph gave them a sense of control. It turned like a vague feeling into a manageable data point. This technology became a container for the emotion. If we want to build a mindfulness practice that survives the digital age, we need specific, actionable protocols. Drawing from sources, here are 3 methods that go beyond than just sitting and breathing. First, the mundane anchor. In a discussion on overwhelming doom scrolling, a Reddit user suggests a surprisingly potent alternative: washing dishes. The goal isn't to get the dishes clean, the goal is the activity itself. User writes, "Wash the dishes as slow as you want. The key is not to make washing dishes a tiring activity that causes stress. It's as simple as moving your thumb up to scroll the screen." This aligns with expert advice on everyday mindfulness. You can practice by feeling the warm, soapy water on your hands or feeling the vibrations of a vacuum cleaner. It anchors you in the physical world, breaking the hypnotic loop of the screen. And this is something I struggle quite a bit myself, because every time I do chores, I always have to have like a podcast or something in the background. Like I can't just focus on the chore. I'm like always trying to get more stimulation, and this is also where the stress comes from. Second, the stress breath. Physiologically, stress floods the body with hormones to confront danger. To counter this, we need to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. A technique recommended by experts is the stress breath. It involves 3 steps. First, inhale while making a sound, so second, inhale the same way but with your mouth closed, creating a vibration in your throat. Third, hold the breath, tuck your chin to your chest, count back from 5 and exhale. Let's try this. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown once again, and then you can try it with me. First, we're going to inhale, making a ha sound. Then we are going to inhale the same way again, with our mouth closed. Then we are going to hold our breath, tuck our chin in, and hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale. Alright, you ready? So as you can see, it does take some exercise to just like get the inhale again, tuck, hold, exhale, right? But the more you practice it, the better you get and the more relaxed you get. The audible vibrations help signal the vagus nerve, triggering a shift from a stress response to a restorative one. So you can literally feel your body calming down. Now, I personally have also like really struggled with normal anxiety. I also really like the 4-4-6-2 technique, which is inhale for 4, hold for 4, and then exhale for 6 seconds, and then hold for 2 again. My therapist once told me that exhaling actually calms the vagus nerve more, so that's why you do the work beforehand to get your body built up with all the energy it has inside of it, and then exhale it out, calming your vagus nerve. So let's try the 4-4-6-2 technique together again. So once again, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, hold for 2, and then again. I really like the technique. I also do it a lot when I'm in a train or when I'm nervous in front of presentations, or before presentations rather. So try this method out if the other one, the one, is too much work. Okay, let's get to the third method, single tasking. Finally, we must address multitasking. It is stifling and very, very inefficient. I beg to differ, but now comes the important part. A simple mindfulness practice is to eat lunch somewhere pleasant away from your desk without your phone. Or try a body scan meditation, where you systematically focus attention on different body regions from your toes to your head. This means you don't have any podcasts on, you don't have any music on, you are in a rather quiet place without any distractions, and you just sit. I know it seems boring, but boring is what we are striving for. Also, multitasking, as I mentioned in my video before, not in this one, but in the one where I talked about doom scrolling, the constant stimulation we have from all the short form video formats we are so addicted to, or just over a phone, is overstimulating our brain all the time. And the need to multitask all the time is a consequence from this overstimulation, from this constant overstimulation. So just practicing single tasking, yes, means that you are going back into your body, going away from the constant overstimulation and just focusing on one thing. So the research is clear. Mindfulness works. It changes your brain areas responsible for attention and emotional processing. It helps to engage in values-consistent behavior rather than avoidance. But we must be realistic. We are living with what researchers call Patience 2.0, a state where our bodies are constantly managed and monitored by technology. We cannot simply find a turn-off button for our digital world. And the goal shouldn't be to destroy your phone or to move to a cabin in the middle of the woods. It is to cultivate the ability to witness your own mind, to notice the urge to doom scroll, and instead judging yourself or even just catching yourself, acknowledging it, and then working against it. Being mindful. Think of your attention like a ship. In a digital age, the ocean is stormier than ever. The waves of information are relentless. Mindfulness isn't about stopping the waves, it's about building a keel, a center of gravity that keeps the ship upright, so you can steer towards where you actually want to go, rather than just drifting wherever the algorithm pushes you, the algorithm or your stress. So tell me about your experiences down in the comments. Have you noticed that you're always alert, always ready to be reached through your phone, always a little tiny bit stressed? Have you noticed that you get stressed way more easily than 10 years before? Have you noticed how all this negatively impacts your life? Write it down in the comments below if you do have some thoughts you want to share with my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. If I wanted to try something new, if you do watch until the end, drop an alien emoji down in the comments below. And I'll see you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!